Welcome back to the deep dive, everybody. Today we're gonna be focusing on the Europa League.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, some really interesting matches coming up, and we're gonna be diving specifically into one that really caught our eye: Lazio versus Real Sociedad. On paper, it might seem like okay, straightforward match, but there's some layers here that we need to peel back.
Definitely. I mean, right off the bat, Real Sociedad, they need a win.
Desperate for it.
Absolutely got to secure that automatic qualification spot. But there's a bit of a historical, I don't want to call it a curse, but a hurdle they got to overcome. They've never won a competitive match on Italian soil.
Not one.
Yeah, so that adds an interesting wrinkle to this whole thing, doesn't it? Like, how much does that weigh on their minds?
Absolutely. And especially when you consider the opponent here, you've got Lazio. They've already secured their spot in the knockout stages. So, maybe they're looking ahead a little bit.
Right. And their form domestically has been, well, a little shaky lately.
Shaky's putting it mildly. That loss to Roma, oof.
Yeah, but they did bounce back against Hellas Verona. So which Lazio are we going to see? The dominant European side or the one that's been struggling in Syria?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And to your point about them maybe looking ahead, you got to wonder about squad rotation. Could be a chance to rest some key players,
Yeah.
especially with some big matches coming up.
Oh, for sure. And on that note, let's not forget about the injuries. Both teams are dealing with some key absences, which could really shake things up.
Yeah, Patrick, Lazzari, Vicino out for Lazio, Gigo suspended, and Real Sociedad is missing Hamari Traore, and Arsene Zakarian's fitness is a question mark. So both managers are going to have to be a little creative.
Absolutely. And that's where the tactical battles get really interesting. How will Lazio cope with Sociedad's pressing in the midfield? Vicino's absence might make them vulnerable.
And on the flip side, Sociedad's defense hasn't been the most solid lately, especially against teams that can hit them on the counter. Thinking with someone like Mattia Zaccagni, he's been on fire for Lazio. Could be a big game for him.
Zaccagni, definitely one to watch. Real Sociedad's going to have their hands full with him. But
Yeah.
for them, I think all eyes will be on Mikel Oyarzabal. Just bagged a brace in their last Europa League match. He's got that hot streak going. Real Sociedad's in a good spot.
Speaking of hot streaks, let's take a look at the projected lineups. For Lazio, we could see Mandas in goal, Maruzic, Romagnoli, Gila, and Pellegrini in defense, Delabashiru and Rovella holding down the midfield, and then up front, Chuona, Dia, Pedro, with Castellanos leading the attack.
And for Real Sociedad, probably Ramiro in goal, Elizondo, Zubeldia, Aguerd, and Munoz at the back, Kubo, Mendez, Zubimendi, and Sucic in the midfield, and up front, Gomez, and of course, Oyarzabal leading the charge.
So you've got the tactical battle, the psychological factor of Sociedad's Italian struggles, and then you add in the desperation factor. Real Sociedad, they need this win. They're going to be hungry.
Exactly, which could mean they take more risks, push higher up the pitch, potentially leaving themselves exposed at the back. And Lazio, even with some key players out, they're dangerous on the counter. So this one could be a real nail biter.
So what's the verdict? Can Real Sociedad finally break their Italian curse? Or will Lazio just keep rolling on the Europa League?
It's a tough call. Honestly, I'm more interested in seeing how those missing players affect the strategies of both sides. We might see some surprises, and that's what makes this match so exciting.
All right, folks, there you have it. Lazio versus Real Sociedad. A clash of styles, a test of mental fortitude, and a chance for Real Sociedad to make history. This is one you won't want to miss.